DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. By integrating the comprehensive animal health product portfolio of Merck Animal Health with the innovative technologies of All-Flex Livestock Intelligence, we are shaping the future of animal health, resulting in more effective solutions and healthier animals.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. It's going to be a great show. We have Dr. Todd Bilby with us today. We've had him on the show before. We've talked about some of the things that we can do in synchronizing cows with natural coverage. Now we're going to take the next step. We're going to talk about timed AI and some of these heifers and much more. Stay tuned.
At Merck Animal Health, we wake up each day seeking new innovations to keep your herd healthy. This is why we're proud to now include All-Flex Livestock Intelligence in our portfolio of solutions. With All-Flex, we can provide the tools to identify, monitor, and trace each animal within a herd. Its state-of-the-art offerings deliver real-time insights to help you optimize productivity. Merck Animal Health and All-Flex Livestock Intelligence for our animals, our industry, and our future.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. We got Dr. Todd Bilby here with us, and Dr. Bilby is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health. He's been a consultant, he's been a faculty member, he's somebody that has worked with ruminant repro, beef cows and dairy cows for a long time.
Long time, yes.
And it's awesome to get him on the show and talk about these topics that really is where the rubber meets the road for our cow, calf, and dairy operations of making money or not making money. And, why don't we kickstart and go back into some of the things we kind of started with on the synchronizing cows and natural coverage, and then that'll lead us into where we're going to go today with taking it to the next level.
Sure. Yeah, I think the last show we did garnered some response. It got some good emails and it got some good conversations going, and so hopefully some people have realized the benefits of just, it's somewhat a simple concept that we forget about, right? If we can just get a calf on the ground sooner, it's alive longer to eat more, and they have higher weaning weights and all the extra benefits that come along with that. But in order to get them bred up sooner, introducing a prostaglandin, say 4 to 5 days after you throw that bull in there, will really tighten that synchronization on your cow herd. And it's not doing the full 3 injections and running them through the chute and timed insemination, but it will achieve, similar benefits as from a standpoint of shortening that calving interval.
Well, we talked about not only having bigger calves at weaning, but you have more heifers to choose from as replacements. It just helps with your genetic evaluation within your herd, moving that forward with more options. But geez, those calves, you give them another 21 days or another 42 days.
Right, a lot bigger. And then you're able to, from some of those studies, those heifers, to your point, that were born in that first 21 days, a higher percentage of them were cycling at the time we needed them to, a higher percentage of them had higher pregnancy rates when we wanted them to, and a higher percent of them stayed in the herd longer. Yep. So, the benefits are realized for a long period of time. And sometimes it can get forgot about, right? You get the breeding season, then you forget exactly, where those benefits are going, but it's for years to come.
Yep. So just for y'all, to a reminder, let's just tell them a little bit about what you do in that prostaglandin shot. You're going to bring those cows, you're going to turn the bull in.
Turn the bull in, absolutely, and you've hopefully done your due diligence. You got good bulls, breeding soundness exam's been done prior, and you're ready to put the bull in. Put the bull in, 4 or 5 days later, run those cows through the chute, give them a shot of prostaglandin. Now, some people say, well, wait a minute, you had the bull in there. Some of them probably got bred, and that's the whole point. A prostaglandin injection only works about 6 or 7 days into a cow's estrus cycle that it's really going to have the effect of killing the CL and bring her in heat. And so those bulls will hopefully breed that first 4, 5, 6 days of that cow's estrus cycle. And so when you run them through the chute and give all the cows a shot of estromate or prostaglandin, then you're not killing the CL because it's too early. So those cows will still stay pregnant from the bull, but you're going to force the rest of the herd to show a heat within the next 2 to 5 days, so the bull will cover the rest of them. So then you've really shortened that interval.
And I think it's important to note you don't need to increase bull numbers when you do this.
Right.
You just keep the same number of bulls, and that was another misconception that people had is I'm going to have so many more bulls. You don't have to change anything.
No, you don't have to change anything. That's right. Just make sure your bulls are good, which is the same thing hopefully you've been doing year to year, right?
Yep.
And so making sure you have good bulls in there and being able to run them through the chute one time, you can really realize a big advantage.
It's awesome. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to go to the next level. We're going to talk about heifers. Dr. Dan here with Dr. Todd. We'll be right back after these messages.
The Alertus on-farm pregnancy test for us has been unbelievable time saver because we can do it whenever we want. My favorite part about Alertus on-farm, we can get results fast. You know, in 20 minutes, you know whether that cow goes to pasture A, B, or C. It's just very efficient. It's going to make you a lot of money. You're not going to have open cows standing there all winter looking at you, and you can do it on your time.
Nasalgen 3 is a new 3-way intranasal BRD vaccine that offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, BRSV, and PI3. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose new Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only 5-way intranasal vaccine on the market. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need. From prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Todd Bilby. He is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health and is a wealth of information on all things repro, dairy, beef, you name it. Just been a lot of fun to kick ideas back and forth. And, you know, as we talked about synchronizing and getting that calving period tighter, you know, if we're sitting there at home going, okay, I've done this, now I want to go to the next step. I want to take it to the next level and work more with improving the genetics of the herd. I want to get some of these heifers integrated into this. What would be some of the things you'd be starting to think about?
Sure. I think a good next step is if you really want to utilize reproductive technologies, improve genetic gain within your herd, continue to tighten that calving season and get good replacements, a good next step is to look at using timed artificial insemination in your heifers.
Okay.
And you know, the reason I say start with your heifers, hopefully you realize the benefit from doing it, and then you can judge whether it's worth moving that into your cow herd, or if you like just using the one shot of prostaglandin and that achieves what you need from the cow herd perspective and you're getting your genetic base from your heifers. And so you don't have a calf on the side, so the heifer's usually a little easier to work.
Yep.
You can start, and there's some advantage to time breeding those heifers roughly 30 days before you're going to go into your cow herd. That way you can get these heifers pregnant, bred, so that, you know, 9 months later when they have a calf, they're calving and they have a little more time to recover after that calving, so that now they're synced up, so to speak, with your cow herd, and then when you can get everything pregnant in the same amount of time.
Yeah, and I like having those heifers go first and be done with with the calving those heifers that don't quite know the operation yet. And
yes.
what they're supposed to do, and help them out. And I'm still a little fresh in the first month of the calving season and not ticked off yet.
Yeah, right. Another advantage, right? Because they're all calving in hopefully in a very smaller window, so you can keep an eye on them while you're fresh, and by the time you're wore out, hopefully the older cows are doing their thing.
Exactly, the cows can carry me through. But so talk a little bit about what some of the process is then.
Yeah, so and whether this cow herd, anything to the breeding season, I always recommend, we usually start our show and end the show with saying, get your vet involved. Yeah. That's always important. Have your veterinarian on board. The bull steads have some great AI technicians. Some university folks have good repro people. Whoever your repro go-to sources are, and the veterinarian should be involved, sit down and make a plan, right? Don't forget about your bulls. If bulls are involved, breeding soundness exams, etc. Make sure you have the facilities you need, the labor you need. Get a plan. That would be the first and foremost you need to do before you dive into trying to time inseminate heifers. Because there's some headache there, right? Running them through the chute 3 times to do this is not easy, especially if it's your first time. So planning is key.
So sit down, first of the year or whenever.
Correct.
And give yourself plenty of time to make sure you can get everybody and everything lined up.
Yes.
Is going to be very, very important.
Yes.
So before we dive into all the mechanics, let's take a break and let's come back. And when we come back, let's have our planning's done.
Yep.
And now we're going to get to work.
Yep.
All right.
Good.
Folks, we're going to take a break. Dr. Todd Bilby, I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. We'll be right back after these messages.
We see you, working hard from the early mornings to the late nights and every hour in between. We see you. We see the pursuit, the desire, the effort, the hope, the goal of being a champion. And we see that you need a partner to keep your animals healthy and happy. With our countless products and quick and reliable shipping, together, we can do just that. To the cowboys and cowgirls, to the dreamers, we see you.
Dr. Nels here, folks. We're super excited about this book on hiring. Have you made a bad hire? Have you hired someone you wish you wouldn't have? Are you looking to hire? It's a great short read on helping you in the hiring process. You can find it on Amazon, Kindle, Audible, or find it at drnels.com. Check it out there. We'd love to see you there.
They're here, they're hungry, and they can't be stopped with ivermectin. Choose Safeguard when you deworm your cattle to take out resistant parasites like brown stomach worm, Cuperia, Nematodyrus, and others. With Safeguard's efficacy, you can kill more resistant worms in your cattle, so you don't leave potential on the table. Consult your veterinarian for the diagnosis and treatment of parasitism. Then bite back at safeguardworks.com.
ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Todd Bilby. Dr. Bilby is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health, and a pretty busy guy. And we got him sit down for a minute in between planes and cars and that, and we appreciate it. Okay, our planning is done. We've worked our veterinarians involved, our AI stud. We've got the semen selected. Now it's go time. Talk to me a little bit about some of the things that you're starting to tell people on the ground.
Yeah, so telling people on the ground, I mean, to achieve success with your timed AI, you've got a plan in place, you've got the people ready to go. You really, hopefully you've got these heifers, and this is part of the plan that probably even goes before the plan, making sure they're hitting puberty and the right weight and age and all the things that go into this heifer having a cycle. They need to be cycling, if at all possible, before starting this. Another nice advantage of doing synchronization is for those that are on the edge of actually showing heat and going through puberty, it will help kickstart a lot of those, right? And so you'll get a lot of those bred up. Several of the protocols, synchronization protocols that we recommend involve a progesterone, whether it's a cedar or a MGA feeding, but this really helps with kickstarting heifers into cycling, and it's really important that they have at least one cycle before they're running through and getting timed inseminated, because we know it's more the second and third heats that are the better heats. That first heat's usually not as good. So we want to get them at the right weight and age so that they're cycling, so they have at least one heat, so when we run them through the synchronization program and we time inseminate them, we're going to get the best fertility possible.
Perfect. So, you mentioned that we're going to use progesterone. Kind of walk me through what one of these synchronization programs would look like.
Sure, and I'll tell you, because I am fortunate to jump on dairy and beef.
Yep.
I go to two resources, one for each of them. Since we're talking about beef, beefrepro.org. I highly recommend that to anybody. I go there because the hours and the times, whether it's a cow or heifer, on when we inseminate, what products we use and when, are different between cows and heifers. If you're using sex semen now, you'll see protocols on that website that if you're using sex semen, you should be using these protocols. If you're using heifers, you should be using this protocol.
No way.
Right? And it's same with dairy. So
well, we had four daughters. What did we do wrong?
She picked the wrong protocol.
Gosh darn it. I didn't know.
Yeah, you should have talked to me.
I love all my daughters. Just kidding.
But yeah, so you can go on to beefrepro.org and look, and there's a variety of synchronization programs to go on there. But if we were to pick some called the long-term protocols that you'll see on there, that's feeding MGA for 14 days or putting a cedar in for 14 days. You'll pull that off. You allow them to show that first heat that you don't breed to.
Yep.
Right? And then roughly, depending on the protocol you're using, 16 to 19 days later, you're given a shot of prostaglandin to force that heat. And then you can heat check and breed, or you can time breed, depending on what labor and abilities you have in that arena. And then your protocol's done, and hopefully a bull's cleaning up after that.
So when they do a timed breed, what's kind of an average time or a typical time from that shot of prostaglandin to breeding?
Yep. So depending on the protocol, but usually you give prostaglandin, you're somewhere in that 54 to 72 hours later, they're seeing a stick of semen.
Okay. Well, it's definitely changed and evolved. It's just awesome to see what we can do with these herds, and just great information from Dr. Bilby. Very humbling. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on Repro within your cow herd with Dr. Todd Bilby.
At Merck Animal Health, we wake up each day seeking new innovations to keep your herd healthy. This is why we're proud to now include Allflex Livestock Intelligence in our portfolio of solutions. With Allflex, we can provide the tools to identify, monitor, and trace each animal within a herd. Its state-of-the-art offerings deliver real-time insights to help you optimize productivity. Merck Animal Health and Allflex Livestock Intelligence. For our animals, our industry, and our future.
At Daniels Manufacturing, we know that you're not always going to be able to work cattle in a permanent facility. That's why we have designed portable equipment built with the same quality and innovation as our stationary equipment. Our portable equipment can be set up with stationary corrals, or just pull the pins and move to a new location. And setting up our portable double alleyways and our all-hydraulic portable chute is quick and easy. Keep yourself and your cattle safer with less stress working in the field with our portable equipment. For more information or to find your perfect portable solution, contact Daniels Manufacturing Company today. ValleyVet.com is your one-stop shop for your every animal need, from prescription meds, vaccines, equipment, and more for the ranch to the show ring. Shop ValleyVet.com for fast shipping and great prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here with Dr. Todd Bilby, who is the Director of Dairy Technical Services for Merck Animal Health, and has been on faculty at universities. He has been a consultant. He's very well respected within our industry, and we're glad to get you here and get you on the show, because I think anybody sitting there watching this show is you should be taking notes as fast as you can write and getting hand cramps. But let's go back to the, defining our why.
Right.
We do these things, and sometimes, why are we doing this? Why? It's not just something that I want to make sure I'm doing something sound like I know what I'm doing when I go to town. There are some sound science and sound reasoning behind using timed AI in these heifers.
Absolutely, and I know we've kind of focused on, and I mentioned that, you know, how good it is to get them in puberty. Those ones are part way or close, and we can use some of these progesterone to get them in puberty, and that's one advantage. Shorten the calving window, it's another advantage. But you know, introducing new genetics to your herd, hopefully your heifers are your better population of genetic. That's your genetic base that's providing, you know, the cow herd, right? And so being able to select semen that will improve your genetic base, but even importantly, especially in your virgin heifers, you can select from proven bulls that have low birth weights. We know that you can, if a heifer has problem calving, she's much less likely to breed back and much less likely, obviously, to stay in your herd. And so reducing improving your calving ease is also big, and then of course that genetic base that we talk about is just that's where a big opportunity lies on your heifers.
You always want to pick the better. You want every generation should be better.
Absolutely.
And every bull, every year there should be better bulls available, and you don't have to own the whole bull.
Right, exactly. That's right. You don't have to own the whole bull, and you know, to that point, using timed insemination, you can cut your bull power down.
Right.
And, you know, it's another cost savings, at least in your heifers. You know, if you're assuming you're getting 50 or 60% of them bred at that first timed AI, you know, you can theoretically remove 50% of your bulls, and so there's a cost savings there. And then keep in mind, 9 months later, now you've got these hopefully not having problems. They calve in early, and those ones that are having heifer calves early in the calving season are the ones, hopefully your AI, and the ones you're going to select for your replacements.
That's a great point. And so, you know, as we're selecting those replacements, you know, they've always told me always pick a replacement out of the first 21 days.
Yep, right,
You know,
exactly.
That's where we want to be.
Yeah.
And you make a good point that the ones that are going to calve in that first 21 days, you're pretty much assured that those were your AI heifers because the others come in 21 days later.
Correct.
Cool. Well, again, fantastic show.
Yep.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate Dr. Todd Bilby, Director of Dairy Technical Services, Merck Animal Health. Remember, always work with your local veterinarian, and if you want to know more about what we do at DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson, here with Dr. Todd Bilby, and we'll see you down the road.
DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. By integrating the comprehensive animal health product portfolio of Merck Animal Health with the innovative technologies of all-flex livestock intelligence, we are shaping the future of animal health, resulting in more effective solutions and healthier animals.